So exciting! The university is actually building our new library, and it's going to be look like this. Hopefully, they are going to turn the key to us in June 2022, and we are actually planning a grand opening in September. But that's the ideal situation. I mean, who knows, right? So I actually checked with that buildings recently. It's earlier this year, and I went to the construction site. Everything goes well, and we're actually working on it. And this is also at my background. This is going to be one of the reading lounge. You are going to enjoy this. I don't know how many students are actually senior or junior, but for sure the freshmen, the first year and the sophomore students, they are going to enjoy our new library. This is one of the reading lounge. It's going to be very classical reading lounge, immersion learning lounge, where we actually put a lot of efforts on this, designing and furniture and everything, functional design. And this is also the reading lounge. And this is going to be digital scholarship center for you. So for example, this kind of boot camp series is going to be hosted hopefully at this kind of digital scholarship center in the library. So this is, we're working with the furniture companies to put some state-of-the-art furniture in that, so that you can enjoy the cutting-edge technologies and state-of-the-art furniture. And this is another part of the digital scholarship center. And like I said, we're working very hard to put some state-of-the-art furniture in that, so that you can enjoy provide you really the best user experience for teaching, learning, and research for you. And this will be the 24/7 reading room in the new library. Instead of these three very simple classrooms in the library right now, it's going to be like this. And this is also a discussion room that you are going to use hopefully next year in the new library building. So, very brief. What I want you to walk away with from my speech is that always go to our library website. We have maintained a very transparent communication strategies with you for the whole community. So we basically publish everything, every events, every progress, every news on the library website. We put up databases, we put the news on the library website. We have new programs, we put news on the library website. So always visit our library website. You can go into there from the main WK website, from the drop-down menu, or you can also just type the URL in that there. And you can always switch back and forth between Chinese and English at the right corner of the library website. So that's the first thing. The second thing, we have a temporary digital storage center setting at GH A301. And it's open, the open hours align with the library open hours. So you can feel free to visit. We have several, we have 4 PC terminals and 2 Mac terminals, and installed with all database terminals, resources, tools, analytical tools that you can use. And I believe Dr. Chae and Dr. Lewis are going to show you the digital storage center later in this workshop. The third thing, our email. If you have any questions, any suggestions, any complaints, feel free to send it to our library email. It's very simple, library@wku.edu.cn. And you can expect a very instant response from our staff. So that's the very basic brief. And again, thank you very much for attending this workshop. And I'm really honored to give this speech. I'm going to hand it back over to Dr. Chae and Dr. Lee.
To start, first of all, thank you very much to come to the boot camp, and welcome to our boot camp for social network. First of all, it was really, you guys are really good students. Early in the morning and even in this weekend, come to the class and to learn something. Really good. But I'm not much, morning person, so it's always made me a little bit tired or a little bit make it hard. Why don't we start with some kind of stretching? Hey guys, raise your hand. Okay? Hey! Then going left, left, going back, front. Oh. Whew. You getting better? All right, thank you very much. So, I see that it's half of your beautiful face is covered by the mask. So it is a little bit sorry that I can recognize you. But I see some of you already took my class. So how many of you take my class before? Wow, most than half. Then you guys know that my style. All right. So, okay, this is not the another class. This is just a learning experience. Learning experience is like sometimes you push it or sometimes but you are fine by yourself. So I hope you don't feel this is like another lectures or another class. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to introduce the R, the very good my permanent uses of analysis tools, and how to using the basics of the R and dynamic documentation, which means that when you doing the analysis, usually you end it at the end you make the report, but you can make the report with R. So automatically or dynamically is going to be represented to your data. And also, I prepare one more things that is social network analysis. Personally, social network is about like seeing that how other peoples and individuals they are interact with each other. The reason that I have found this one is interesting is because I'm really bad on social network. So I just wanted to see what happened. So I hope you have chance like that I had. All right, so yeah, there is a web pages. I'm going to introduce the web pages, and then we are going to have some simple housekeeping things. Then pre-survey. Then I'm going to help you installation. How many of you have been using the R in class or in previous you have experience with? All right. It's going to be a long day for only installation, but still, it is important because usually bootcamp is hard for that. So then we are going to go by the section 1 introduction, some little bit contents and theory and application of the social network analysis. I try not to make you sleep, so we will try. And then we're going to do exercise the social network analysis with your computer with R. All right? Then, of course, question and discussion. One other thing, very important. I need your help, really, desperately. When I ask so many questions, please pretend to answer. Please. Please.
Okay.
All right, only you. Thank you. Please, guys. So, first of all, this is a web QR code for web pages. So you can download the PowerPoint that I shared now, and then script you can download it from these web pages. And of course, later next semester, Dr. Liu will operating the data analysis with this data. Those kind of the information will be updated too. So did you got the QR code all? All good? Work? All right. Okay, so you can see the most of the details, and you can download the script and PowerPoint and PPT. But we don't need to data right now because in bootcamp we are going to do by, from the scratch. Okay, there's one more thing. Please survey. This one is very short survey. Please, when you put the QR, then it's going to be go to the Google form. Please fill the blank and answer to the Google form. I will give you 3 minutes. It's very short. And the last question is about what do you know about or what do you think about social network analysis? It's okay, just you can guess. But however, when you leave some comment, please write it in English, please. So. Chung-il Chae in Korean names. And Dr. Chae or Professor Chae or Your Highness or King Generous King God Chae, all fine. But mostly I'm fine with just Chae. I'm an assistant professor. I started teaching here in 2021. 2021, right? Yeah, 2021, I guess. It was typo. I'm sorry for that. So for a semester, and I teach the first course that I taught was, MGS 2030, the principle of the management, and the Python course. I believe that some of them are from the 2030, and FOMs are from the Python course, I guess. And this semester, I'm teaching the foundation of business analytics. And next spring, in 2022, we are going to have, data mining course for the marketing and the management student. So here is my contact information. So if you need any help or something you need to discuss, or if you want to share some food with me, just feel free to visit me. All right? Okay, let me introduce our great helpers, assistants. Please, you guys, wait and stand up. All right. All right. Here, Juliana and Jason and Tony, they are they have been working with me as a TAs, and they were probably you already know them. Juliana is the junior accounting student, and she has been excellent performance in class. And Tony is now is senior, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, just the information that I bring in here was last year's information. So anyway, senior student in finance, and Jason here also senior student in computer science and technology. He has been the teaching assistant and worked with me a long time. All right, the program we have been so far today, November 27. So we have been started with the opening speech from Mr. Lee. Then we are starting our session, and then we are going to have start the lunch 2:30 to 1:30, and we have the afternoon session 1:30 to 4, and that is the basics of the social network analysis, and 4 to 4:30 the digital scholarship center tour is scheduled. But as you know, probably the scheduled time will be a little bit fluctuating. Okay, so we have been so far. So first thing I want to ask you, do you guys know what is boot camp? Have you ever heard about boot camp?
Military boot camp.
Does anybody know about boot camp?
Boot camp.
Okay, how many of you have experience in military? Yeah, me and you. Okay, boot camp is from the military terms. So, okay, Jerry, how long have been in the military in your times?
2 years.
Just 2 years?
Yeah, just 2 years. Because I was a short time.
Ah, right.
Army.
All right. Sorry for that. Okay. Usually, it's in Korea. It is mandatory. So when you become 20, you got physical exam. Then if you're not rich or famous, you have to go to military, and you have to live with another share the bed with another 40 males for 2 years and 2 months. It was hell to me. So of course I didn't much prepare. So thankfully, the Korean military, they have some kind of training system, and actually it's all common in all military system too. So, and when we start, we have 6 weeks of camp. That is like what we call boot camp. So we learned about very basic trainings of, how to, not to shut the gun, it's like how to cleaning, how to move how to build the buildings, such as like that. So that helped me to get used to what happened in the military and things for the task. So same thing, same ideas. Boot camp here is we are going to deal with some common or basics of trainings and basics of the analytics. Especially today's subject is getting used to with the tools R and R Studio and some other little bit of tool, GAPI, like that. Not a Python in the time. So we have been done with our pre-survey. So I wonder what was the result of the pre-survey. So let's see. So actually what I'm doing now is what you were doing today, is you creating the document and report. So all my presentation today is solely built by the R and R Studio. So what I did today is, there's some error. Okay. Sorry for that. I believe that is because of the size of this. Yeah, where is some of this? Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just, because of the error was because of the size of the screen and size of the pages, so I delete the other part, but we can see later. So today, after you are filling in your survey, total 41 students has been responded to the pre-survey. So what this is, your perception of social network. So last question was, what is a social network? and let's see, network, data, social analysis. It is kind of the big term suggested. It is nothing but you putting in, then I make this some kind of cloud. So behavior, ideas, platform, groups, work, online, analysis, structures, interact, and relationship, impact. I like those terms. It's captured very well about the nature of social network. And okay, this is one of the ways that we can see, your perception of what you're writing about the social network. So I see here's concept, person, graph, and cultures. And here, most of the parts of work coming here: user, people, predictions, phenomena, show, relationship as like one big chunk, and work, net, important, I guess, and inform, skill, run, and concept and ideas as like a separate one. So it gives you a little bit of hint as like collective your perception, how you think about the social network. Of course, in order to make a clear analysis, it should be more clean and have to go by more deeper. So from now, probably actual social network, we are going to start at afternoon. But first, we need to install R and R Studio and our packages related to today's the bootcamp and Get-By. Get-By is a graphical application, cross-platform application for visualization of social network. So sometimes you need some additional software you need to install, such as like Java 8. And if you're using Mac, you need to install the command line tool, such as like that. All right. So first, why don't we go to the Google Trend R? So go to Google and Trend R, and it will give you the link for Google the Trend R web pages. So based on your operating system, please download R first. So sequence is first we are going to install R, then R Studio, then other packages, and then Get-By. All right? All right. Hey guys, we're going to help them to download and install. All right, and please raise your hand if you have struggled to download or installing the software. Yeah, I'll be there. It's okay here? You already have them. All right. So then next one is you need to install. So this is Windows, right? Download R for Windows. Then
Is that enough?
do you have R Studio here? No, that is only R. So okay, now what you have to do is go to R Studio. Search R Studio. Yeah. And download R Studio IDE.
Is the version of R 4.1.2?
Yeah, 4.1.1 and 2. Alright. So you can just close this one. So mostly we are going to using the R Studio. Okay. Why it
Takes a long time.
Oh yeah, now. Alright, so then go down. Download Studio for Mac. Okay. So while this is downloading, why don't we go to Gephi, G-E-P-H-I. Let me change the slide.
문의 소출.
So you need to install R and R Studio and Gephi. There's links over there.
Gephi is the first link.
No, is G-E-P-H-I.
Oh, G.
Yes. Right. So while it's downloading, go to the R Studio, go to the Google, downloading Gephi for our Mac. Yeah, it will take time, so R and why don't you search the R Studio? No. This is R. Go to search the R Studio. Go to the Google. And R Studio. Because first of all, think about the car. R is engine. So as she's mentioned to you guys, long times ago, we using the R. So in R, there's not much of tools. Everything should be like command line based. So later, our community is expanded, and they develop GUI, G-U-I, Graphic User Interface. So it is what we call R Studio IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment, which means that everything while you are doing some kind of analysis, you can see everything inside one screen. So that's why we need engine for the car. So we need R, then we need outside of car, R Studio. And Gephi is some kind of special software to visualizing social network the data. So of course we can do the analysis in R social network. However, visualization in usual case is fine. However, when we deal with a very complicated network, it is very hard to recognize it or manipulate or cleaning the visualization. So that's why I'm using the Gephi. All right. Okay. So honestly, during my classes in Python, and now is foundation of the business analytics with R. So most hardest part is installation. So once you're done with that, you already done more than half. Okay? So don't get frustrated. We have many helps here, and I will help you. So that's the reason for bootcamp. And it is free. However, it's all the load and task is depend on you. So you have to find out how to install. So because this is open source framework, it's depend on many other dependency. One is the Java, and the other is like other C language the frameworks. But we don't need to know about that all the complicated things. Once we are installing the Java and C, they are all behind. They are working for us. So most important thing is right now is installation. All right. And as I told you, installation is half. So once you're doing the installation, this is the most hardest part. So don't worry. Okay. How about Gephi? So I will. No. So Gephi is you have to open it as like a standalone machine. If you need. So what you can do is
So this is the characters relationship of the language R.
But then this is not
No, this is R because R can do the analysis, but Kappa is more easy.
But in order to do this connection like this.
Right, for the visualization, this is more easy.
Yes.
Visualization. Right, but
So you need to open two screens, RStudio and
grab
or let's say Kappa. Two studios. This Kappa is
What is
visualization.
Actually, those are all part of the visualization. Visualization is about representation of the data structure, right? And plot is one of the way of showing the visualization of statistical data set, right? So, but social network is showing the network structure itself. So we need to visualize our network data, relational data, to
So Doreen, I have here. You have both open, RStudio and Kappa. For both open.
but relatively easily you can do.
Your art studio. So, and I'm going to. Okay, here's some special combination of the key. So from now, when I type some key, it's going to be show up in screen too, like that. All right. All right. So open the RStudio. When you open the RStudio, this will be the screen you will see. Of course, layout is different than mine, and the font is different. So now, first thing at the beginning, you're going to I will tell you what you have to do. Okay, first thing you have to go to Tool on the top. Click the tool. Yeah, follow me. And click Global Option. Make it like a little smaller. Okay, Tool and Global Option. So then you will have this window, right? Yes. Okay, first thing first, what you have to do is you have to change the you go to the code and make sure software R source file is checked. If that is not checked, please click and check and apply. Okay, so then next one. Go to the appearance. You can choose whatever you like. But before we change the appearance, why don't we go to the layout first? So go to the layout. So in layout, there's many different layout if you like. However, usually my setting is I make console up and right side as a console, and left side right side I make source. And the left side bottom environment history and plot, and right side file package help viewer. Please change your layout and apply. So then your layout of your RStudio is now same as with me. Okay, so then next click appearance. Then you can choose. In this time, this is your choice. There's many different themes, so choose some themes that is make you feel that is work well. But for this class, this boot camp, I'm going to using the just plain the themes, and you can change the font, of course, font size or font.
I'm going to choose just regular font. And apply. So then this is your first scene of your RStudio. Everybody have same screen like me? Yes? No? Yes? Please answer. Yes. Thank you. All right. So then actually I'm going to explain what that each of them are, we call it panel. I'm going to explain what each panel do. So actually we have one more panel for source. So we need to open the R script. So let me think about this way. R is engine that I told you, right? And RStudio is just outside. So actually your R is running here in this place. And here is the place that other information will be displayed. And as well as here files and packages information will be show up here. Yes?
Now the word is the source.
Yes.
Because I still have source one.
Yes, I will, so that's why.
So we have this part here.
Yeah.
Because I remember we have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep, there's 4. So we set up the 4 different panel. In order to see the panel for source, we need to open the script. Script is like you can think about just notepad. So before you run this code, you just test it and think about what would be the best way to writing. All right. So when you click File, New File, R script, or here's the icon with the plus sign with the blank. When you click it, and then you can select the R script. So then you will have.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think because we cannot see. You are click on file editor, we cannot see the bar. You see, we cannot see the bar here. We cannot see what you do here.
File.
Yeah, I know, but the students cannot see.
My bar.
Yeah. So
But that is, not my.
Yeah.
That is the screens.
yeah.
Side.
So you see the issue? The professor talking about it.
Okay, all right. So, and this is different by the Windows and Mac. So you can click the left side upper. There is a icon with a plus sign, and when you click it, there is a R script and the other type of the document you generate. So click R script. So then you will have this other side of source panel will be open. So first of all, what this one do is you're writing here something. That is what we're scripting or coding. We are writing here. Then you are going to run this code to the R engine on your left side. And when you create something, that is what we call object or variables, that will be show up in the bottom of the environment window here. And then of course you have to deal with many different type of the file. So file information will be show up the right side, right and bottom side. Okay? Is that all good? All right. Because you already been through the whole most hardest part. Last of them are easy peasy. Okay, but we are not going to do the programming right away. So always in my class for entire this semester, I talk to my student. Please, when you open the R, what do you have to start? Where was? What do you have to start? Project. How? By click your upper right side, name project. When you click it, you will see new project.
And it is most important, very, very important. Always start with project, please. Okay? Because later you're going to deal with the files and you have to think about the paths. So when you are not using the project, the files are all spread it out. And also it is very hard to manage this. And sometimes you have to using very long paths. So project you can managing your code and things are all in one folders. Then you can it help you to work more concisely. All right. So click new project. When you click the new project, there's a dialog: new directory, existing directory, and version control. So right now, don't think about the version control. But however, there's two cases. One is you are going to start to new project from scratch. The other is you may using some folder you already made it. So in the first case, starting from the scratch, you are going starting with the new directory. Or if you already the directory setup, such as like a 2021 fall and just 2001, and then assignment 1, such as like that, then you are using the existing directory. But now we are going to start with the new directory. Okay, new directory and new project. Okay, so then now you will see this screen. This is important and a little bit confused. So here they said is create project as subdirectory of, and this one is name of the directory. So what will happen is when you type file name the directory names here, new directory will be created and all the environment the variables are stored. But you need to set up what is the upper directory. So for example, if you already have the R and project folder, you have R folder, and under the R folder, you have project folder. And in the project folder, you want it to start with project 1, project 2, project 3. So then this one should be project, right? And this one should be project 1, such as like that. But today, in this time, in order to avoiding any complexity, because we already been through a lot of complexity. So why don't you set up the subdirectory as desktop? So click browser, and then go to your desktop, and then open. So then make it your directory as subdirectory of desktop. All right. So then your directory is our boot camp. Okay, let me explain the other option here. First of all, create Git repository is there in these days for programming communities. They share them co-work using Git and GitHub. So Git is like long story like a Linus Torvalds who developed the Linux. He created some kind of the file version control system, but we don't want to go by like that. Okay, so then next one is our menu is like these two menus are for the version control. So right now we are not going to deal with any version control. So leave it as as is. So once you set up all these things, then click create project. Once you click that, it's going to be move the new place. Then you will have this kind of the screen. So first of all, which means you just create new space for new project. So now your files will be stored in here. So then first what you should know is where is my file, where I am.
So as you see, there's a two-way, and of course I create this one on the under desktop. So desktop, if I open this folder, yes, there's a folder and file here. Or sometimes if you're using very complicated, file, structures, so then just click here, more, then show folder in new window. So then it also open the folders that what you are working. So which means that later we are going to put some pictures, or we are going to load the CSV files or Excel file. So then you don't need to think about where it is, where's my data. You can put everything inside. Then you can just doing the analysis. All right. So then here, packaging. So R is free software and relatively small size compared to other analytics and software packages, because as a default, it has only core and essential packages they include. So, of course, without any packages, there's a basic, statistics or basic analytics tool packages are already installed. However, based on your need. So, how many of you? Is there anybody who know that I know that more than 10 different type of regression? So what is the regression? Or regression? Is there only simple regression and multiple regression? There's more than multiple regression, of course. Multi-group, hierarchical, survival, time series, and so on and so on. So, if you need some kind of special the method, so then there's a special algorithm or you need. So that is one of the strong strengths of the R. So R has very well developed and very many scientists, they are involved with our community. So they develop packages for you. Actually, they develop for themselves than just to share. Anyway, so what I meant is, so if you need some special analysis, you find packages that is the applying for your analysis, and then install that packages. So for example, today we are going to deal with social network analysis, right? For the social network analysis, it's very, very unique or orthodox, analysis. So the packages that we are going to use: SNA, iGraph, StatNet, and the Intergraph or ERGM, and networks such as like that. So we are going to install one by one. So just right now, one another important package you have to install. I believe that some of you will have to struggle with that. Some issue can be easily fixed, and some issue you may need to create a new user in your operating system. But anyway, we are going to try with that. So first thing, when you create your first R bootcamp, so then next thing you have to do, okay, I forgot your name, I'm sorry. What is the next thing we have to do? After project, create, no, before that, data report script, folder. Yeah, we need to create a folder. Yeah, of course, everybody have different, their style. But usually I start with 3 folders. One is data, and report, and script. Data is where you are storing all raw data inside. And then script is actually your code, you are storing that. And then report is when you, as you see the PowerPoint, the presentation that I show you today, and or some the report you can create, or even poster you can create with R. So in that time, I'm using all the source for the report to the report folder. We are going to go by that one by one. So
How can create a folder? Two-way. Yeah, of course, you know where is your folder, then just right button click and new folder you can create, right? Your file system. Or from UR, click new folder and type data. Then new folder, script. And then new folder, report. Okay, beautifully done. So, right.
Is it cold? A little bit?
So hold on, almost there. Only we have 20 minutes for the lunch, don't worry. So then, well, we are going to create the writing first, our R script, okay? So then, as we did before, click the new file button, then click R script. So then R script window is open, right? Do you follow me?
Yes.
Okay. So then first thing first, because sometimes easily you can forget, save first. Save file to your script. So our script extension is after file name .r. So you're going to change this one as first script. One other thing important here, at least in the bootcamp, we are not going to using space. All right, space is your enemy.
Can you show how this window is open again?
All right. So you open the script, right? So then click save. The save button is here on the top. Then you will show up where you're going to save. Then you have to choose the location in script. So then you change this one, line. If you need a space, instead of space, especially for the file name, using underbar, right? First, R script. All right. So then when you click your script in your file, you will see your script here. All right? Everybody follow? All right. Okay, so then why don't we doing something cool? And before that, when I do the coding, there is actual what we call the function, comment, and annotation, and value and variables. So others are all kind of the functional things. However, there is a type of the writing, we call it annotation. Annotation is note for you. I mean, just for now, like a 10 or 20 lines, fine. But later, if you're writing like a 100, 200, even the PowerPoint, the presentation that I bring to you is like a 10,000, 1,000 lines of the programming code. So, in this case, if you do not make a note, sometimes you easily, oh, where am I? You forgot that. So, annotation is for you. So when you're writing, so for me, annotation also helped me to structuring the analysis of what I'm doing. So, in R, annotations go by shop. Okay, I will make a screen big. Is that okay for you guys? Yes. All right. So, shop and package installer. So that means I'm going to be installing the packages. So of course there's many important packages you have to install today. But however, we are going to try to install package two-way. One is easy way, the other is hard way. Which one you wanted to go? Which one do you want it to go?
Easy way.
Easy way? Okay. So then packages, there's a package tab, right? So click package tab and there's button for install. So click install and when it opens, then you can type package name. So how do I know that package name, right? So if you go to the plan R, so they provide name of the packages and by the analysis. So this is one thing, then the other is by social network, by econometrics, or by the accounting, or by audit analysis. You can search the packages. But however, today we are going to using specific packages that I like. Okay. All right. So packages that we are going to use is Psych. PSYCH. So when you type first a few, part of the package name is going to be automatically ended up, and it will show up the other packages too. So Psych, and then click Psych and install. So then package will be installed. But in these stages, probably some of you will have issue. All right? Please raise your hand to installing packages. Okay, Jason and Tony, yeah, keep raise your hand so our TAs can go around. Okay, so let's move on. So once you are installing packages, what you have to do is you have to load the packages. So before that, one thing very cool thing is whatever you type is leave it in history. So for example, something that we just install packages, so they by clicking click, but they are typing for us. So then I need this code for future purpose. So where you find is go to History tab. When you click the History tab, there will be all the command or line you run will be here. So when you click the line that you just used, so to source, when you click the to source, it's going to move to source. All right?
But I don't see this install package online. So here and
History. History and to source. And package is usually one-time things. One time you install it, later you don't need to reinstall again, but you need to frequently check and then update. So, but
I typed it to thesis, but I didn't show that.
you didn't see that line? Okay.
I mean,
Show me.
I typed.
You have to click first. Okay, no sorry. You know, first of all, today there's no sorry. You guys are pretty much first time, and what is the most common error for you while you are doing? Typo. Yeah, instead of install, even I make the same mistake. So that is not the, when we have error or some struggle, that is something we have to fix, not that something that we have to embarrass. Got it? So just feel free to raise your hand. We discuss, we talk about, we fix that. All right, next things. So once you are install the packages, I want to prevent accidentally install package again. So in order to not to run that code you already used using hashtag. So as I told you, hashtag is annotation. So by just adding hashtag, it becomes that line is just annotation. So if you just run, I will show you how to run the code. If you just run there, that code are not going to be run. Okay, next thing. Once you are info packages, next thing what you have to do is load packages. So how to load packages? There's two ways. One is required or the other is library. That is up to your choice. However, I prefer to using the required. So later, if you want to change it to the library. But I'm going to require. And type the name of the package you just installed, PSYCH. Okay, it is important to run our code. There is a three way. One is you are writing ended up all code, then you just run everything at once. And second of all, you can execute code by block, which means that you select some part of your code and just execute that part. And third is you can execute your code line by line. So we have the line 3, then there's code that I just write. So that will not going to apply until I execute. So, of course there's a button, but however I want you guys, get familiar with. In Mac first. Can Mac person? Yeah. Command, enter. Okay, for Windows persons, Control, enter. That is run the line. So my case, I'm going to go by command and enter. So it's going to be run. So you see that once package is successfully loading, so it shows that loading required packages site. So if you have this the messages, that means your package is loaded. Got it?
So you need to select the line, the specific line, or
Yeah,
we
you
don't
can.
have to select that. We just
I told you there's a three ways. One is you just execute the code line by line. Second of all is you can select the block you want to execute, then execute it, or you can run all the code at once.
If you don't select it will run the whole block.
If you select and execute, then it's going to be run that block. So if you not select anything and execute, so then it's going to be run just one line. Okay? So sometimes I see some students to execute that line where there's line cursor in here, they move here, then and run. No, any place you are in the line, just execute that. All right? Okay, next. So I know it's a little bit leap. However, no, we have sites. Why don't we doing some kind of the analysis with the data? Of course, data we are not going to deal with actual big data, but so data, type data, empty cars, and command enter, and window control enter. So then, when you go to environment here, when you click the environment, you see that here environment, there's a value, show that empty cars, right? So this is there is data, set of data, they are, they provide from the R. So then we are going to empty car, type empty cars, and command and enter. And did you realize that what happened? When you hear command and enter, this is going to go to here, and this is run, which means that actual programming or calculating is happening here, and this is just notepad. All right. So we have the empty car. Empty car is data of the 1970, 80 or 70s. There's a car magazines. So there's the type of the car and their mileage per gasoline, how many cylinders, how many weight, how much it is heavy. Those are kind of the data they collect. So then we see that a little bit jumping, but if your car is first of all, you guys know what is mileage per gallon? By one gallon of the gas, how much miles you can go, right? No? I think that is right. One gallon of the oils, how much miles your car can go. So then, which means that better mileage per gasoline, in the number, your car has more energy efficiency. So, but think about this way. If your car is heavier, if your car is the heavier car and the light car. So if your car is more heavier, so then what would be the mileage per gasoline change? Getting better or getting worse? Your car is heavier, so then mileage per gasoline? Going bad. Just regionally. What we didn't check yet, so we just think about this one as like our assumption. So then we will see what happened. So what we can do is plot empty cars and $, MPG, and empty cars, $, weight, WT. So actually these empty cars, what this value means are you can double question and the empty cars. So then in help here, it will give you what is empty cars data set. So this is in 1974 Motor Trend US magazines. They collect some data about the car, so mileage per gasoline, MPG. CYL is number of cylinders, DISP is the displacement. So what the displacement is related to the performance, Chae?
What displacement? It's a displacement of what?
I don't know, so that's why I'm asking.
Doctor, we don't follow the fifth line for blood. Blood was.
Oh, okay, yeah, we will go a little later. So once you've done in plot, empty car, I'm going to explain more specific grammar, but just for now, don't worry about this grammar. Just follow me. So then, when you execute this line, if you have this error, means because I make a screen the small large to see you better. So in Mac, command and minus. In Windows, control minus. So then you run it again, and you will show. I'm sorry. It should be MPGs go to weight first, then MPGs. Yeah. So then when you click the zoom, you will see. So our assumption is heavier car, with more and more heavier car will be less their mileage per gasoline, right? So that is our assumption. So we collect the data, right? So then they collect for us. So then we just plot it, what relationship they have. So this is what we call scatter plot. So this is by X and Y. So this kind of the plot is helpful to when one unit of X is changed, how much of the Y will be changes. So what we have interest in is what? what we have interest in? Mileage per gasoline, right? So then we will see by change of the car's weight, what trend you see?
The use.
It's getting worse, right? Going down. So more and more heavier car has less mileage per gasoline, right? So then, so far we don't know. So then can you say this is kind of the linear relationship? I didn't say linear regression yet. Can you say there's some kind of pattern? You can say there is some patterns?
Yes.
And that pattern is like linear? How do you know that? Yeah, it looks like there is kind of, from here you can make this kind of line, and that line would be explain the trend well, right? So that is later you're going to learn about, or you guys already know about the regression. So that is about part of regression. So we are not going there yet. So actually what we wanted to do, we already, installed the packages site. So we are going to using the one-off function from site. Okay, package is the set bundle of the function. Okay, what is the function? What is the function? In mathematics, function. Correct answer. The function is constant, right? But more like I explained, like it's black box. We don't know what kind of the rules are there. However, when you put something, it is processed by the rule. We don't know yet, and some output is come out. So function is that the box. So when plus, minus, multiply, whatever rule you apply, that is inside algorithm, inside the function, right? So the reason that I mentioned about this is, package is bundle. What is the bundle? Just group, right? Group of the function. Some similar, the function or some function then need for the other function, we combine together as like linear regression packages. So the packages we are going to using is psych. Psych is usually used for psychometrics. No, you don't need to know about psychometrics. But however, that packages one of the function from the psych is describe. So this function nicely display your result of your data set. So one way to, when you have the data, you have to summarize in your data, right? So one way to summarizing data is, suggesting find out mean, median, minimum, and maximum squeezing is such as like that. But the basic summary, what R provide is, okay, after this we are going to go to lunch, I'm sorry guys, and we are going to start a little bit late, don't worry. So here's summary. Summary, empty, cars. And when you enter, then you will see the answer here. Here's the name of the variable here, and this gives us minimum number, maximum number. This is what we call the quantiles. So first quantile, third quantile, and median, and mean is the averages of the data. So, but however, probably many of you report that your professor asked you is more details, right? Mean, median, mode, and squealiness, and kurtosis, and standard deviation, such as like that. So, in psych, when you load the psych, so then you can using the function describe. Describe. So sometimes the function names are they overlap. You have to make sure. So this function from these packages. So describe from psych. Describe
empty cards and execute it. So then it's going to be nicely give you more information about your data, their number of n, mean, standard deviation, median, trim, med, and minimum, maximum ranges, finished cartridges, and standard errors. All right? Did you follow me? Okay, thank you very much. That's for today's morning session. After lunch, we are going to have the other session too. Thank you very much. See you after the lunch.
I think you can see if nobody takes you to see how to install.